Either Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah, good morning, sir. Sir, can you hear us, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Volume is clear? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, but if volume can be increased, ma'am, just check the speaker. This one.
Yeah, just a minute. Now, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Better, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall we start, sir? Shall we start, sir? Hello? Sir,
Yes,
shall we
ma'am.
start? Okay. Pleasant morning to all. I, Dr. Rupa Tenkarvi, Associate Professor, Department of MBA, extend a warm welcome to all to 5-day workshop on applications of analytics in business, organized by Department of MBA, SDBIT. This program has been organized with an objective to develop an understanding of the role and importance of analytics in business and to support in decision making. Before we start, I seek the blessings of His Holiness Bhairavakya, Jagadguru, Padma Bhushana, Sri Dr. Balagangadharanath Mahaswamiji, His Holiness Jagadguru, Sri Dr. Nirmalanandanath Mahaswamiji, Reverend Sri Dr. Prakashanatha Swamiji, Managing Director, SJB Group of Institutions. On this occasion, I wholeheartedly thank our principal, Dr. Putraj sir, for providing an opportunity to organize this workshop. I extend a warm welcome to our HOD, Dr. Mamata. Welcome you, ma'am. The importance of application of analytics in business lies in the fact that it helps in gathering a large volume of data at a much faster rate and present it in a visually captivating way. This way, companies can achieve specified goals with better choices on matters like how and where to take the business. To elaborate on this, today we have with us an eminent speaker, Dr. R.K. Prema, HR analyst, who has graduated from Srimati Indira Gandhi College, Bharatidasan University, and holds a doctorate in management studies. To her credit, she has presented many papers in national and international journals and has many years of academic and research experience. I feel glad to welcome our speaker. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's my privilege to welcome faculty members from various institutions, student participants from various institutions and our students, my fellow colleagues, and also welcome Silicon City management team. Welcome you all. Over to you, ma'am. I request Dr. Prema madam to take over the session.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, clearly audible.
My screen visible? Am I visible?
Yeah, ma'am, you are visible.
Can you just open the PowerPoint before I start?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, sure. Hello, sir. Dinesh, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Madam is host.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am, you can proceed, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, I couldn't able to turn on my video.
Sorry, ma'am.
I couldn't able to turn on my video. Actually,
Yeah.
for me it's on, but the host people
Okay.
have to just turn on it.
Okay, just a minute, ma'am. Just a minute.
once.
ಮೇಲ್ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲ್ ಹೋಗಿ
Madam, here it is reflecting your video is on, ma'am.
ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಸರ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಓಕೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟರಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೇರಿಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್
Yeah, ma'am. Okay.
Can you share the screen as other participant is sharing? ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಓಕೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲ್
Kindly give permission for me to turn on my video also, ma'am.
Just a minute, ma'am. 2 minutes.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay.
She was doing this. Don't let show her Hello.
Yeah, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can see the screen now, ma'am. The slides have been shared.
Video
Prema,
needs to
ma'am?
be turned, ma'am. Turn on, ma'am. My video.
Yeah, turn down,
I
ma'am.
request the host to
Your
turn on
video.
it.
Yeah.
It's not visible.
Yeah, just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hello. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Please proceed, ma'am.
Still videos, no. Sorry,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
you are also co-host, ma'am. You can control the screen. Now the
It
slides
is
have
turned
been
on
shared.
my video.
Video is on, ma'am. Your video is on.
Visible to you?
No, ma'am. You cannot see, but it's on.
Video is on only. That's why I don't know why I'm not visible to you.
No, it's on, ma'am. Audio and video is on. Just a minute. It may take few seconds.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay, I'll wait.
Now you check, ma'am.
1 second.
Slides you can see right now, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Ma'am, please
it's
start. We'll check.
fine, fine.
Ma'am, now your video is on. Rema, ma'am.
Prema, madam.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Please proceed.
Okay. But for me, it's not visible. If it is visible for you people, then it's okay.
For us also, it's not visible. We'll check, ma'am. Please proceed.
It is
It's
visible,
visible,
ma'am. It
ma'am.
is visible.
It's
It
visible.
is
It's
visible.
visible. Now
Yeah,
it's
sir.
visible.
Okay. Yeah, ma'am. Okay, fine.
Okay.
So thank you, ma'am, for your noble and kind words. Honorable Principal Sir, Dr. Puttarat Sir, Dynamic HOD Ma'am, Dr. Mamata Ma'am, and profound faculty coordinators, the Department of MBA, and my dear students, a very happy morning to all. And it's indeed a great pleasure to share my thoughts with you on HR analytics and use of analytics across management domains. As rightly pointed out by Valluvar, knowledge is one of the imperishable wealth of human. I am really very happy and indebted to see such a huge crowd for today's knowledge sharing session on the topic HR analytics. Right? So before getting into this session, just I have got few ground rules for you all. And ma'am, just go to full screen, ma'am.
Just a minute. Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Mom,
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Mom, actually, if I go for slideshow, it will stop in only one slide. It will not move to other slides.
Okay, okay. Okay, ma'am.
If you ask me to move the screen, I will move it, Mom.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Yeah.
You just tell me which screen, which slide I have to move. I will move it. I'll move
Okay, fine.
it. Okay,
So
Mom.
do this one. Please turn off your mic and don't do the second one because we have the practice of getting connected and taking rest. Don't do that one because today we have a very fantastic life needed information to get and the questions at the last. And the take home of today's session is that to give you all an insight or awareness about what analytics is all about, right? So this is the objectives of our webinar. And I hope that this 45 to 50 minutes will just travel regarding this analytics. And this is the objective of the session too, right? So I hope the environment is pretty good. Ma'am, is it okay? Clear, everything is perfect?
Clear, ma'am, clear.
Yeah, okay. So there is a buzzword called analytics prevailing in the industry. Why it noise too much? Right? It's a time for us to think. Next slide, please. So that's the idea behind discussing about analytics and why everyone is talking about analytics. So I will say that analytics is like a magic pot. I would like to compare analytics with a magic pot. So in our childhood, we would have heard about this story of magic pot. So what a magic pot will do is that, so the story goes on like this. Once there lived a farmer. So one fine day, he just went to dig his land and for such a treasury. While doing so, he didn't find nothing, but he just find the empty part. There is nothing inside, an empty part he found. So since he didn't get anything, he was very stressed and just kept the pot aside and he started digging again. After a while also he didn't get anything. So with lot of stress, he just threw that axe into the pot. So once he did like so, he just found hundreds of axes near to that pot. So he was very enthusiastic. He just tried that with mango, he just tried that with the other things. And the story goes on like this, and it will end up with some other moral. So the idea behind why I'm comparing this analytics with a magic pot is that once you fed data, the analytics what will do, it will just convert into an enormous information, which will be helpful for us to make insightful decision in the business. That is why I would like to compare analytics is nothing but a magic part. So each and every day in business cycle, there are n number of datas, terabyte of datas, gigabyte of datas are entering with regard to a single transaction, right? So we are very enough and good with data, but we are starving for information. So in order to derive that information, the analytics comes into picture, or that is the base, right? So if you insert data, what an analytics will do, it will do n number of calculations and it will fetch you the needed information, which will be the very base or the raw thing for us to take a decision making in business. Hence, analytics is very simple. So it might be a new term for us, but it's very simple. It's the different way or the platform in which we try to use or convert the data into information by using certain calculation. So long back, the term is there. In earlier days, if you go or if you just think about the business, we don't have such kind of, or the percentage of accumulation of data is not so much. So we never thought about how the data needs to be streamlined. But when considering now the today's arena, the business agenda goes on in such a way, and that too this COVID-19 pandemic has bring an n number of changes in the business environment, where the customer as well as the buyer moves an n number of business transformation in information technology. That's where there are n number of data information just get accumulated, which we are calling as an unstructured one, right? Hence, to make it simple and clear, analytics is very simple. There is nothing big or that there is nothing heavy to think about it. It's very simple. It's the different platform in which we use in order to streamline the needed information from the data, and that information which we are taking or that act as an input for business decision making. This is how I could simply explain analytics to you people, right? So talking more about analytics, and in good olden days, the transactions are not recorded to greater extent. So nowadays, in digitalized world, today we are talking about bitcoins, the digital currency, which doesn't have a tangible look. So we are talking about bitcoins, where we can try to convert the money, or we can buy or sell goods as if like physically how we are getting the products or buying the products, right? So this is how the need for data analytics comes into picture, right? So even in our pinpoint of our finger, whatever you touch, it's considered as a transaction. So data is everywhere. So wherever data is there is a bit of analytics attached to it. Hence, obviously, there is no matter of concern. Analytics has taken a greater platform, or it has gained competitive advantage in today's business environment. That's why wherever you go, wherever you see, just we are listening to the term called analytics, data, data science, data managers, data analysts, and all those things. See, today we are recording the attendance of the students, and probably that is also no by it's all about collecting the data, collecting the information. So a wise man or a wise individual who knows a bit knowledge about analytics or IT enabled things, which will takes you for a further growth, right? So with this keynote, things to understand is that analytics is a very simple thing. It's not that much fabulous. It is all about the different platform in which we use data, in which we try to analyze the data, and what kind of information that we are in need of matters a lot. So continuing that, we'll be talking about how this analytics will be useful for different management streams when you're talking about the MBA grads. Ma'am, can I have the next slide, please? See, it's very difficult to believe no Bitcoin, the digital currency, right? As because programming languages is the one which shapes the entire world. Today, wherever the place you go, you can find a desktop, a system there. So without which the business could not run. So that is how the information technology has transformed the entire world. And this COVID-19 also supports a lot, whereas it helps for a drastic transformation in the business, right? So as William Deming rightly pointed out that what you cannot measure, you cannot manage. So he is a scientist and philanthropist, mentioned that the things which we couldn't able to measure, you cannot manage. So measurement is very important. So what can we do with data? Do data only enough to convert the information? Obviously not. See, we are uploading our biodata in matrimonies. So when your parents are searching alliances, we used to upload our database in matrimonials and all those websites. A very simple, pretty example. We'll just fetch lot of profiles of the girl or a guy. So what we used to do, we used to collect all the things, then one by one we'll just check it up, and it consumes a lot of time. Instead of that, the platform itself does, if you are in need of the age category of 27 to 30, it will give you only such kind of profiles. So here your work is very simple, and with the available information, you are supposed to take decision who will fit for me. And after 5 or 10 years only we'll come to know whatever the decision that we have taken is may not right or maybe right. It depends on the co-partners of yours, right? So this is how the data, no, that is what I'm talking about, unstructured data. So there is a fabulous amount of data, huge voluminous data are there. Analytics will help you to fetch the required data that will be put into analysis and will get a very fantastic information which will be helpful for us to predict the business decision. So today when you talk about marketing a product or selling a product or buying a goods, or as a customer we are doing research, we are searching n number of things. So when you try to get an appointment in a hospital, what the first thing that we'll just go to see the review. If the review state 4.2 out of 5, 50 customers have given their reviews, we'll just come to a conclusion that yeah, this hospital, the service could be much more better. Likewise, whenever we are trying to do any online purchases, buying and selling of goods, we always have the practice of checking the reviews, how it's going. So this could be enabled and could be given with the help of analytics. So data will not be enough. It will not be sufficient. We need metrics or measurement to take an effective decision. And earlier days, when you try to calculate a house budget up to the union budget, earlier days we were using Calci, a very simple thing which everyone knows. Then we moved on to spreadsheets. Then we moved on to artificial intelligence. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence, where programming, the Python language, can do n number of works, or it will reduce the manpower in a production layout or in a production sector, right? So now today we are talking about drones. So when you want to move from one place to the other place where the environment is very new, we are getting the support of Google Map. So everywhere analytics is attached to it. So when you talk about the drone cameras operating there, the drone cameras, which are the drone machines which we are using to spray waters for firing and all those things, no, it's analytics matters a lot. So each and every part are of day-to-day activities, analytics is attached to it. So just my dear students, a very base thing to understand is that it starts from a dot up to an ocean. There are many things to learn in analytics, but apart from everything, to start with the day-to-day activities which we are supposed to do, if we try to implement the knowledge on how to make it simple or how to fetch the data, how can I apply my analytical skills, and how can I derive an insightful business decision, matters a lot apart from everything. Like when you try, very simple thing, so every day you are spending some 50 to 60 rupees for your petrol. I have a question I'll ask you. On an average per month, how much rupees will you spend for your bike? So per day, some 60 to 70. So 30 days out of 30, total out of 30, you'll get the mean. It talks about analytics, right? Each and everything talks about data. And when you talk about this, the output, doing that calculation is nothing but analytics. So the output you are deriving now, that will be helpful for you to take decision. So which shall I go with Shine or shall I go with HP, where the cost is little less? So how can I reduce the route? All those things you can go ahead, right? So this is what very simple thing about analytics. So let us go on the other side. What are the changing times in and around us? Ma'am, next slide, please. Hence, huge voluminous data are converted into information, and that's where the need of analytics matters. So when you look at this presentation, it talks about n number of things, why the environment has changed a lot. So we are shifted or transferred from industrial based approach to internet based approach, that is IT based society. And earlier days, we are talking about industrial goods, but now information itself is a good. So when you approach a retail store, when you made some trade, when you just give your debit card for money exchange, so all your information get recorded there. So behind the screen, what is happening that we may not sure, but those information will be helpful for the retailers to find out in which place I have my potential customers, on which particular date in a month the sales is very high. So what kind of products are moving frequently? So what kind of products at what prices the consumers are buying? Whether are they coming with their nuclear family, or it's a big family, or individual person is coming for shopping. So all those informations will be helpful for the retailer to take a very predictive business decision. So now information itself is a good, and infonomics is coming up. So infonomics itself a business information which will be helpful to take business decision related to the problem which happened earlier or problem which is happening, where I could able to forecast the business situation, right? Hence infonomics is coming up, right? Therefore, you want to maximize, you want to monetize, or you want to earn money, and you try to manage also through technology. So, because of this technology integration, we are talking about the connect based service sectors. Each and every business arena is connected with one over the other. Take it case of healthcare or tourism or hospitality, IT sectors, manufacturing, supply chain. When you talk about stock market analysis, each and everything. See the number of products sold, stock market, we have an increase in the prices, or stock prices, share prices get increased. So it's interconnected with one over the other. Hence, there is a growing need for data, and this traditional industry based sector to a digital transformation industry is where we are surviving our life. Until otherwise, if you didn't learn or if you are not adapted to the environment, we will become irrelevant. So having an insight into analytics matters a lot to a greater extent. I didn't talk about only for MBA, whichever the business comes into picture, whom are the people operating, for each and every one of them, analytics will be a cause for every one of us. So have a very clear idea in your mind that until otherwise, if I doesn't make sure myself knowledgeable about how could I apply analytics in my workspace, I will become irrelevant. So it's pretty better to know and understand about analytics, which drives the entire world. Yeah, ma'am. Next slide, please. So you just see one thing, there are topmost companies, no, right? When you talk about Netflix and Amazon, so these are the companies which are operating, or every day you could see that the price, there will be variation in the price of the product. So why it's happening? Each and every 2 hours, Amazon used to stream what kind of customers are buying my products, at what prices the products are more sold. So they'll just have a look, the trend analysis they'll be doing. Based on that, they'll keep on changing the price of the product. So now if you'll see, one product will be available saying that only two stocks are available. On the next half an hour, if you check once again, it will say that out of stock. Just we'll be in a confused state. See, half an hour back only I had seen that it is available, and now it's saying out of stock, which means price also there will be a great variations. So it's very easy and faster for the business holders to take a decision when such kind of analytical tools are available in the market, so that they can able to provide a better service to the customers. So that's where the analytics stands, and it's not specific to one particular domain. When you talk about the first thing, marketing, which is across management domains, it will be helpful for the salesperson to find about who are their potential customers, and what about the sales and demand of a particular product with regard to functional happenings or seasonal demands of the goods. So all could be predicted by using this analytics. When you talk about sales, we could able to identify the percentage of sales made on a particular day or weekends or from Monday to Friday, or who will be the potential customers buying this product frequently, or the age group of the customers lies between which group, 20 or 25 or more than 25 or 25 to 30, they can able to predict. And coming to the third one, logistics and supply chain. So talking about agile manufacturing, reduction in the number of products, and how to optimize the cost, and how to give space. That is when you talk about the 5S principle, all those comes into picture. So one great function is that HRM, where we talk about recruitment, retention, recruitment, reward, and retention. See, for a job, I'm receiving some 30,000 applicants as on date. Even there are many number of HRs employing in a concern. Do you think is it possible for them to analyze or sit and identify or sit and shortlist those 30,000 applicants into a number of 300? One of the base function which everyone knows of HR is nothing but recruitment. So when you talk about recruitment, there are n number of social networks available, LinkedIn, Monster Jobs, and many things are there. So each and every day, there are thousands of resumes are uploading in 1 hour of time. You just think it will be a very hectic task for the HR to shortlist and go through all these profiles. Here, how does analytics helps? So there is a software in which they are using called as ATS, that is applicant tracking system. Probably HR students may know about this applicant tracking system. So what this applicant tracking system does really? Applicant tracking system helps to shortlist or screen those 30,000 applicants by using certain terminologies or any coding words. For example, I am looking for a candidate who's very well versed in advanced Excel, and qualification might be BCom or MBA. If just for example, I am telling, if I'll say advanced Excel, comma MBA, out of this 30,000 applicants, engineering graduates, BE IT, BE CSE people also would have applied for this particular job because it's oriented to analytical field. So I'm expecting MBA with advanced Excel skills. If I'll give this code word, this ATS will fetch whomsoever the applicants are eligible, or wherever it is finding this word, this ATS will fetch only those applicants. Probably out of 30,000, if you are getting some 250 plus, it will be very easy for the HR to sit and go through the rest of the things and to call the people for interview. And HCS is using higher view software in order to get exposed to how the environment inside an organization. And LinkedIn, from the recruiter sites, once you apply for a job, you will receive a message. How many people have viewed that job? How many people have applied that job? Everything is on the screen in front of us. So these and all we are using for the purpose of decision making, for the purpose of making the right decision. And apart from HR, we have IT and service sectors and manufacturing sectors where they are making use of this analytics. That's why I'm telling analytics is not only specific to a particular sector or a particular field of study. It is needed for each and every one of us, those who are surviving in this world as of now. Yeah, ma'am, next slide, please. Yeah. So one thought-provoking process. What is this? 24/7. So we as a customer always expect service to be delivered 24/7. Earlier, this principle was applicable only to hospitals, most particularly applicable to hospitals. Now, we We are talking about the bots, 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 that is the robots, chatbots. See, when you are sending a query, just simple thing, when you are Googling something, admission in a college, admission in an institution, when you just referring to that website, immediately you will receive a message stating that I am so and so, how could I help you? So these are bots, BOTS, the robots, the robotic process automation, RPA, robotic process automation, which are working behind the screen, where we can able to receive service 24/7. Because of this drastic changes, we as a customer, we are not in a position to wait for that 8 hours of time. So we need immediate response. That is where the analytics is in the field now. Yeah, ma'am, one more slide, please. And the other important thought-provoking process is that queuing. Ma'am, next slide, please. Ma'am. Yeah, I think you can see. Yeah, thank you. We can't wait in a queue, right? So this image depicts you. People are standing in a queue and waiting for the services to be delivered. So an industry will be much more sustainable if it could satisfy the needs and wants of the customers at a very shorter span of time, right? So even when you talk about testing a kit called COVID-19, earlier we have to wait for 24 hours, 1 or 2 days, and now we can able to get the report within an hour, right? So this is how the fast changing world is pushing the market into and the customers into. So we can't, no one, the customer is very interested to wait in a queue. And henceforth, a business which needs to survive in the industry, it should be proactive, very predictive in decision making, keen about data and information. It has to satisfy its customers at a faster, at a sooner rate. That is where the need of analytics is in the field. Yeah, ma'am, next slide, please. See, a very simple general thing to discuss. In earlier, in the culture, we have a joint family where we have all the, our relations, grandfather and mother and auntie, uncle stay together. Ma'am, next slide, please, simultaneously. We just live as a joint family. Our grandmother or father will used to say, see, this is what will happen. If he goes in such a path, then this is the thing which will happen. How is your son? How he is doing? How is your doctor? What she is doing? No? If she is not perfect in these things, this is the thing which will happen. I'll tell you surely. They will say. So ingrained mind in a family, if they predict something, that will happen. So that is the kind of experience they have got. Likewise, in a company, there will be individuals or HR who will be working in the organization for 20 plus years, and they will predict and they'll be very strong in decision making. So they will say, so down the line, probably 1 year, 20 to 25 people or 5% of the people they may quit their job. They will predict. So earlier days, there are ingrained wisdom or ingrained brain who try to predict what may happen in future. But as of now, it won't work out because of the huge transformation in business. And ma'am, next slide, please. So this is what happening with regard to a industry where no, the ingrained brain will used to take decision. But now this can be done with the help of the artificial intelligence softwares, where we are talking about machine learning and the Python. That is where the data scientist comes into picture. See, HR is about feelings and emotions. Can we measure the feelings and emotions of the individual? Yes, obviously we can. How? Just we used to put up a question and we used to try to record the responses. And again, we are trying to give the value strongly agree or highly satisfied means 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We used to give the numbers and we are trying to convert the qualitative data into quantitative one. And henceforth, this analysis can quantify, build a model, and predict the behavior. How many of the people will stay with my company? What is the reward that I supposed to give? How many of the people will quit my organization? So how could I can able to focus on my employee key strengths so that they'll be committed a lot? How can I identify or how can I satisfy my customer? These kind of research you can do with the help of the information which we get it through the part of analytics. So now, as of now, in the place of that ingrained brain of the individual, the artificial intelligence, the programming things will do n number of things, right? So one best example is that no, this robots, those could try to serve and those could try to, no, they used to distribute for the purpose of serving automated business. Long back, the concept of automation comes into picture, but after the great emergence of analytics, it has gained a very greater competitive advantage and scope in today's scenario. Yeah, ma'am. Next slide, please. So this is what I told. So when you made a purchase in a supermarket, behind the screen, the data which are stored could be useful for effective decision making by the retailers, right? So as long as the data exists, we need someone to analyze it. Therefore, there will be a huge demand in the forthcoming years in the field of analytics. And you could find only very minimum institutes are offering MBA in analytics, not only MBA in analytics and other courses too. And even the millennials, those who have completed their graduation in the computer science or IT, now they are just approaching the other institutes for the purpose of getting information about data, informatics and Python and R programming. All those things now they are learning in order to implement in the real-time situation. So be sure that as long as the data exists, we need someone to analyze it. So hence there will be huge demand. Yeah, ma'am, next slide. Yeah. So this is one theoretical part which I'd like to show you. You could see the first, how the growth of analytics happened. One is about visualization. A very simple thing we used to do pie charts for representing the data. For example, out of this participants in the group, how many of them are male and female? Just visualizing a pie chart which says that out of 90 respondents in the group, which means 90 participants in the Zoom meet today, 12 are male and rest of the participants are female. That is how we used to visualize data, just visible, seeing the data. And a network or algorithm hierarchy model. And then it moved on to predictive analysis, which helps to forecast and predict what may happen in future. And there comes big data. So it is, big data is not that much, very tedious thing. It is about the small data which are accumulated and over a period of time we'll just get a huge voluminous of data we are calling as big data. And there comes the profile of data scientists, and now the growth of R and Python are in the peak. On the other side, when you look at what is the base of analytics, we generally classify analytics on three areas. One is descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive. And descriptive and diagnostic analytics, you can keep it in one stream, which helps to identify the problem which happened in the past. So when you're talking about the share price of TVS Motors, the last month the share price is about 52 rupees per share, for example, I'm telling. So 2019 to 20, each and every month, what is the variation in the share price, the past thing, how could I make use of that past data and how could I predict maybe by next month, what could be my prediction? So it explains what happened in the past and why it has happened in the past. So why Netflix can able to trace or give up a very fantastic movie so that it can able to get and viewers will be more. Descriptive analysis and predictive analysis talks about it helps to forecast what may happen in future. So the Ebola is coming up by the next week. So as of now, we are crossing 50 million cases. Probably within this 1 week or 10 days, because of the inflow of people into market and buying goods and services, purchases made by them, what is the percentage it may increase. So it forecasts what may happen in future over a period of time. What might happen? Predictive analysis. Prescriptive analysis, prescribing something. It talks about this is the thing which will happen in future. What are the precautionary measures that I'm supposed to take? Or on the other side, prescriptive analysis will tells you, or it will give you or suggest possible solutions so that we could be awakened and will very good enough. We have the the tools to make a war in the future situation is nothing but prescriptive analysis. This is what the base theory of prescriptive analysis. Whichever the area or platform you'll be working, data, whatever you are receiving needs to be converted into information through analytics, and that will be helpful in three aspects. One is the past data, and the other one is predicting or forecasting about the future needs and trends. And the third one is that what could be the possible solution that I could take so that I can avoid this in the nearby future. This is revolving this, the circle, revolving this circle, the business is relying on. Yeah, ma'am, next slide, please. Yes, I just like to show you a small dashboard. So this dashboard, see, very simple thing. When you are listening to a cricket match in this group, how many of you are interested to know the ball by ball updates? So what we need is that, okay, after half an hour, what is the score? How many overs crossed? What is the run? Which batsman and which country the batsman is batting? How many wickets gone? This is the information we need. So in order to retrieve that information, we need analytics. This is what in analytics we used to call it as dashboard. So everything will be given in number, no graphs and number. It's very easy for us to understand that moving graphs, that trending graphs. So this dashboard chart talks about the production volume. See on the top, you can see the quantity ordered and returned. So there are many reasons that they have just come across a research which talks about number of products returned, after that products, damaged products or other reasons. So like that, we just made it in 3 colors. And what is the sales revenue per month? And what is the percentage in which the frequency of the products gets sold? So this is what we are calling as dashboard. Yeah, ma'am, next slide, please. So if you take production or HR or marketing or any arena as of considering MBA grads, so this dashboard, it looks to be similar. The kind of analysis, the kind of platform or kind of software in which you are using, the display will be entirely different. But dashboard, these tools, for example, when you are talking about a formula, very simple formula in maths, A plus B the whole square is equal to A squared, so on, so on, all those things. Instead of A, if you put 3, or instead of A, if you put 4, also doesn't matter. The formula is same. It is all about which number that you are using. Accordingly, the output will come. So likewise, this prediction, all these kind of specialization, the dashboard will seems to be little different as per your requirement and need. Yes. So this is what a very base insight about analytics. So whenever you just hear the term, don't think too much. It will be very difficult. I have for that I should be a mathematician. I should be a statistician. I should be a person with max background. Don't think about all those things. It is all about the real life situation in which how we are applying it into the field matters a lot. I can tell you there are people in the industry with the use of the spreadsheets, Excel itself, they are coming up with the fabulous analytical skills. It is all about how we know the base and how we are applying it to the top level matters a lot. Does analytics make sense? Yes. So digital skill gap is the need of the hour. If you are not in the field, you will become irrelevant. So everywhere we are running behind the digital transformation, a digital industry, a digital business. So obviously analytics is the need of the day, need of the hour. In future, there will be n number of softwares will comes into picture. It's very difficult for us to learn each and everything newly, but we can update. So try to be strong in one area to start with something. In tomorrow's session, we'll be talking about what are the job opportunities available in the field of analytics with regard to MBA grads. And into that, what kind of skills that you are supposed to equip so that you can see a very bright growth in your future. And why analytics matters is no more complexity. It's visible, very transparent. It helps for logical thinking because everything will become digital. And analytics helps to reduce the manpower, the supply of manpower or number of people put into work, the continuous work so that they'll get job boredom. And it's very helpful for us to go about with better decision making. So if you didn't learn to discover what is new in the field will be relevant. So be curious and conscious about what's happening in and around us and try to equip yourself, try to update yourself accordingly. That matters obviously a lot. Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Next slide, please. Yeah. So before moving on to the question and answer session, I'll just I'm very grateful for the institution, principal sir, HOD ma'am, and the coordinators, particularly Rupa ma'am, who continuously approached me and seeking my support and organizing this kind of a program, which is the very need of the hour, and it's much more useful for the students, so that we could see you as a better analyst in the future point of time, future course of time. And this is the right time for you to learn, because this third or fourth semester students, you will be in the transformation from campus to corporate. So this is the right time for you to learn and equip all those skills so that you could place yourself in a better environment in the nearby future. And I'd like to thank my mother and sister who continuously support in all my deeds in taking care of my son and everything and all those part. And thanks for everyone. And ma'am, shall we go ahead with the question and answer session?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask ma'am. Please share your questions in the chat box or directly in Zoom. No, you can ask the questions. Participants, if you have any queries, please you can ask to madam. Now it is open for question and answer session.
Yeah, ma'am. One thing is that since now it's a blooming term which we are hearing from anywhere, wherever we go, there are a number of workshops going on in analytics. We are very
Yeah, ma'am.
pretty clear about analytics. No, it's very simple. So to start with, we can't touch mountain at a stretch. So we have to start with a little stone, little dot only. So as a student, it might be a very new area for them, but there will be a number of growth opportunities in analytics. That is what we'll be discussing in tomorrow's session. But as of now, my intention is to make the students understand. It's not about talking about descriptive, prescriptive, and many things comes into picture. The idea of today's session is that analytics is very simple. If you start learning, things will comes into picture. That is why there is a law called the law of attraction. No? So whatever you are referring in YouTube the previous day, the next day when you wake up, that will comes on the first as a stream. So what you try or what you want in life, what you are in need of, what you think always, that will comes into picture. So start working with analytics. Just get into this field and try to understand what is all about. It will be, very catchy for you. Yeah, students, they
Yeah.
are all please to ask questions.
Yeah, students, if anyone, you have any doubts?
And repeat a question. What are the various factors that drive HR analytics? Anusha, see. Yeah, good, fantastic, nice question. So when you talk about HR analytics, as I told you, HR is all about feelings and emotions of the people, particularly the employees in the organization. So if I say I'm happy, I can't say I'm happy at what rate? 10 or 9 or 8 or 7. Happy means happy. Unhappy means unhappy. Somewhat means okay, that's it. So we can't give a fantastic number, because particularly when you talk about HR analytics, we all deals with the emotions and the feelings of the humans or the employees in an organization. So the various factors which drive HR analytics is, when you talk about the time taken for the employee to hire. This is one of the factor which drives HR analytics. How many years that you stay with the organization? There are people, those who never consider pay as the prime factor. Apart from that, when they are happy with the environment, when they are in the comfort zone, they won't quit their job. So HR analytics could be driven by the value which an employee gives to the organization, the value which an employer gives to their employees, and moreover, it helps in reducing your time and cost and your effectiveness, your problems. See, a very simple thing. I am a superior, under me 5 people are working. If I'm trying to appraise those 5 people, I may like one and I may not like the other. So I'm giving a greater rating to the one person, on the other side I'm giving a lesser rating to the other person. When you talk about HR analytics, it is all about the programming languages and it's all about data sheets. You can't do any blame in that. A number is always a number. So there is no kind of this halo effect or those all any kind of bias will not comes into picture when you talk about HR analytics. See, each and everything will be recorded, right? See, when you just say thumb impression, at what time, 9:05 or 9:02 or 9 o'clock, you have to punch 9 o'clock. 9:05 or 9:02 means it's above 9 only. So if my superior is known to you, no, no, she came by 9 o'clock only. If that is a metrics, 9 to pakka 9 to. So this kind of errors can be minimized when you talk about HR analytics, right? So it's of n number of things, starting from recruitment up to retention in the organization. Each and every factor drives HR analytics, and pretty it is much more the need of the hour, which will be considers a platform in error reduction. Yeah, Anusha, may I answer
Yeah.
the question? Am I answerable?
Any other questions, participants? Any
Yes,
other
ma'am.
questions?
Ma'am, can I know how HR analytics is a third way for HR value creations, ma'am?
Yeah. Okay. Superb. A nice value creation. No? So each
Yes,
and
ma'am.
every, yeah. See, marketing, when you buy a product, you just say the value of the product represents the amount you spend over that product, and out of that, what is the percentage of service that you are receiving. You as a customer, you know the value which you received. But when you talk about HR, it's very complex in nature. And moreover, when you talk about value creation within an organization, no, each and every one needs to be quantifiable, and people needs loss of sorry lots of respect and recognition from the employer side. See, when the data says that this is the kind of pay that the other institution is giving, or this is the kind of reward which the other company is giving, obviously it is the mindset of my employee who will always think about better, let me quit my job and join another organization because the reward where they are giving is very high. So in the platform of HR analytics, it's very transparent and it's very clear. What is the percentage of no increment or reward status? Not specifically about, say, for example, 1,000 rupees for this function or for the seasonal conditions. We'll just come to know what is the average. A very simple example: if you just take a glass door, when you are applying for a job, you will come to know what is the package that I may receive in Bangalore as in the position of a junior HR executive. So you will have a judgment that this is the kind of package available. These are my qualifications. So what is the amount that I could bargain with my HR department? So that is where you are creating value for yourself. Likewise, each and every HR activities, the value creation as HR analytics obviously create a greater percentage of value to all the HR activities. Why? Because there is no error, there is no individual interferences in the HR activities because everything are being recorded or everything are being systematic. So value creation will be obviously good. And one great thing is that, which I felt is that the kind of cohesiveness between the employee will slow down because of the physical touch, the physical viewness. See, when I'm saying hi in a chat box or when I'm WhatsApp you hi, that is different. When I see and say hi dear, how are you, that is entirely different. So that kind of that internal consistency will come down. On the other side, they are always trying to focus on creating value for the employees in the organization for their better stay with the organization.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am,
I
here we
suppose-
have one more question, ma'am. The question is by Shailaja Budu. The question is, what is the effect of recruitment process about AI or virtual recruitment?
Yeah, good, fine. So effect in the sense artificial intelligence. So when you talk about robotic process automation, RPA or artificial intelligence, in this pandemic situation, the rate is really good and it goes on well. Actually, most of the companies, even I have attended few interviews through video conferencing only. So through which anyhow when you talk about recruitment, no, the basic thing is that to assess how far or to what extent the individual candidate fit with the value of my organization or not. So one of the best example I could quote here is that there is a software called HireVue, HIREVUE, and you can think about refer hire also. First one, HireVue software. This HireVue software or pre-structured questionnaire which obviously flows in the professional websites. For example, if I'm just be as one of the if I've been shortlisted for the first round, I'll be send this questionnaire or this link. I have to log into that link. I have to fill that questionnaire. Reading the statement, I'll come to know what is the environment or what kind of work activities that the company is going ahead. Two cases. One is that if I'm being recruited and if I'm not pretty happy with the environment because my expectation is different and the what the organization provides is different, there is no person organization fit where I am a mismatch for the organization. That is, I personally feel. So I thought of quitting the company by the next down 6 months or 1 year. Instead of that, HireVue software, what it does, it tries to inject into the minds of the applicants. This is what my company is all about. You can see the video or the picture image or how the work environment will be in that login ID credential which is given to you, so that you'll come to know a pre-plan about how the industry where I'm going to work. So you'll be mindset will be good so that it can helpful in reducing the retention rate or the turnover rate of the employee over a period of time. One thing. And refer hire, when you talk about refer hire, where these are the professional websites which are available. For example, I am working for a concern called Society Generally. So where there are nearly some 10 plus vacancies. So this refer hire, so this website is provided for the candidates, those who are in need of search. And my sister or my brother or my students is in need of a job, I can post them in that group. So anybody who's willing to take that individual candidate based on their skill set, competency, if he or she matches well, then he or she will be recruited. So these things are happening because of the intervention of this artificial intelligence and the automation process which comes into picture, which helps to reduce the multitask in the organization. So this is what I think this it plays a very greater role, obviously.
Yeah,
It do matter And current industry also expects that, and current industry also expects, and the recruitment practice is also going on. That is what I told. I have encountered 2 interview process which has been in video conferencing. So nowadays, now earlier days, if you just refer to YouTube, you just get how to self-introduce yourself, self-introduction, how to prepare a resume. Now you can see a couple of videos stating that how to present in a video interview. See, that is why it's need of the heart, because people are making videos how to present yourself in a video conferencing, how to attend a video in video conferencing. So one part is that it obviously matters and it's happening too, unavoidable.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, one more question is there. The
Yeah.
question is by Sagar. He is
Yeah.
a finance student. How can I help the analytics skills in finance field?
How can I implement?
How can I apply? How can I apply the analytics skills in finance field?
See, that's what a very basic example I told here. The student. See, when you talk about increase in stock prices, say as a person who's dealing with shares, I doesn't know which company shares should I invest. So for that, there are past data available. If you are very good in analytics, see, very simple thing. So there are 2 companies which shares that one company share is good, one company share is less. We'll just go for a better choice in making things. Whenever the choices are more, manually when you couldn't able to take a decision, that's where analytics comes into picture. And finance, there are n number of applications which are emerging. When you talk about bank here, earlier they don't have ATMs where individual employee has to sit and distribute money, and later the invent of ATM where there is no need to wait in a queue and all those things. So now we are talking about your debit card reader and all. So earlier days we try to give inputs as your password and all those things. Now once scanned, you can credit the money up to 2000. So that kind of things are available. So finance area, particularly the banking sector, the use of analytics is very pretty high. When you try to know the services provided by a particular bank and all those things, analytics are there in the field. It's already there. It will be there in future also. It will be there. That's what I just keep on telling. Knowing a bit of analytics will help you to implement wherever it is needed. So there is no specific field that I can deny that analytics will not be applicable. It's hugely applied arena, one of the areas finance.
Thank you, ma'am. So I hope we have come to the end of the session. The session has been streamed in YouTube also. Thank you, ma'am, for your thought-provoking information.
Thank you, ma'am.
It gives me immense pleasure to thank Dr. R.K. Prema for providing insights about basics of analytics with lots of current examples, analytics in business functions, facts and myths, and about ATS, that is applicant tracking system, and its applications. Thank you, ma'am. And tomorrow, madam will be explaining on the job opportunities in the area of analytics. And also today she spoke about these applications in different domains also. Also, I would like to thank our HOD Madam, Dr. Mamata J, for her constant support and encouragement, and also thank faculty members and student participants for their interest. We hope to see you ahead in day 2, tomorrow, day 2 of the session, which highlights on job opportunities in the area of analytics. Kindly attend all the sessions of the workshop to get the certificate, and please provide your valuable feedback in the link shared in the chat box. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It's my pleasure. We'll just meet you back soon by tomorrow.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. So tomorrow the session again starts at 10:30. Please attend the session 10 minutes before. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
A lot. Thanks for the opportunity given. Bye to all. We'll meet you tomorrow.
Yeah. So please provide the feedback in the link shared in the chat box. So I request all of you to provide the feedback. So thank you all for joining the session. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.